Today we're going to learn about patterns. Patterns can be made up of colors, shapes, objects, shirts, hair color, all sorts of things. But today we're going to learn some different patterns by using colors. So first I'm going to make a red square. I'm going to color it in, and I'm going to label the red square A so that we can remember. Then I'm going to use a purple marker to make a purple square, and I'm going to label the purple square B. So in a pattern, I want it to be something and something else, and then start over when I'm just going to use two different objects or two different colors. So I'm going to start back with a red. And since the red was labeled A before, it's going to be, I'm going to label it A again. Then to complete my pattern, it's red, purple would be next. So I'm going to make a purple square. And it doesn't have to be squares, it could be circles, it could be a line, it could be anything, but today I'm using squares. And then I'm going to label it I'm going to label that one B. So this is just going to be given the name AB. Next, well first I want to ask you, what do you think would come next in this pattern? We have red, purple, purple. So, and after looking at it, if you said red, you are correct. So good job. Next, we're going to do the same colors, but we're going to mix it up a little bit. This one, we're going to label BA. Can you guess what comes first? Well, let's look back up at the first example. B, we used the color purple. So, since B is starting first here, we're going to make a purple square, color it in, and once again we're going to label it B. Then in the instructions, pretty much, it explains that it wants us to use A. So A was red. So we're going to make a red square, color it in, and be sure to label it just to help us determine what we're working with. And then, like we did before, we have purple, red, purple. So again, we're going to make a purple square and label it B. So if we have purple, red, purple, just like before, again, it's going to be red for A. So we're going to make our square, color it in, and label it A. Again, these could be any colors that you choose, just as long as you keep them the same each time you do it. So, I'm going to give you a second to think about it, and I want you to think what would come next after the red. So, if we have purple as B and red as A, again, purple is B, red as A, what do you think comes next? Would it be red or would it be purple? Well, let's look. If it's purple, red, red, that doesn't fit in the pattern of B-A, B-A. So, with that, it has to be another purple square, which you would label B. So, if you said purple, you were right. Good job. Okay, do you think you're getting the hang of it yet? If so, let's make it a little bit more tricky. This time, we're going to add an extra step. We're going to do B, A, A. So, starting just like we did before, we're not going to change the colors. We're just adding an extra square. So B is what? Purple. So we're going to make a purple square and label it B. Then it asks us for A, which again was red. So we're going to make our red square, color it in, and label it A. This is what's different than before. So it asks us for B, A, A. When before we were used to doing purple, red, purple, red. But I threw you for a loop, and we're going to add another square of red. So we're going to color it in, and we're going to label it A. So we have B, A, A. Purple, red, red. So to complete the pattern, we would then start back over from before, and we would go back to the B. Purple square, labeling B. And then we just follow each thing. So it has another A, so we do red for A, and label it just to keep ourselves on track. And then it wants another A. So we follow it in. And to double check that you're doing the pattern right, if it says B-A-A, you can make sure and just cover this up, and you did B-A-A. So you're right. And then, oh, we have to label it. And then we double check this, and it's B-A-A. So you're right. So, again, just like before, I'm going to give you a second to think about what would come next in your pattern of B-A-A. So we have purple, red, red, purple, red, red. So what comes next in the pattern? It's kind of tricky, but we have one purple, and then we know we have two reds. We have one purple, we know we have two reds. So next would become one purple. So the same answer as before, but we added an extra red square. This one is completely different, along the same lines, but we're adding a new color. It's easy, you'll get it. So this one is going to be labeled A, B, C. So we're not going to make it too difficult. We're going to keep A being red. So we'll draw our first red square and label it A. We're going to keep B as purple. So we will draw our purple square and of course label it. Now we're going to add C, and C is going to be green. So we will do a green square. So that's completing that, and then to start over the pattern, we would start again with A. Coloring it in, labeling it. So, and it also helps too, if you're coloring in things, to keep your colors in the order. If you haven't noticed, like I did red, purple, green, and then I used the red again, so I'm putting it at the end. And then I'm using this. It kind of helps to remember what's coming next. So you're creating a pattern of markers in your hand. So next is purple. And then our last square is going to be C, and it is going to be green. So instead of just two different colors, we added another one to create three. So to double check yourself and see what color comes next, you do red, purple, green, red, purple, green, red. So the next color would be a red square, labeled A. You can look over this if you have any trouble, but next I want all of the class